We are doing something a little bit different today. I am back in Iowa for my first IARA race in 4 years and my first hare scramble of this year. So the race today is taking place in Atalissa, Iowa. We are lined up here in the open sea class. Starts a little bit different today. We are doing a gun start rather than a flag start. So when we hear the gunfire, we take off. This is my first hare scramble on the 300, and with all that said, let's get right into it. We do not get a good start off the line here. Going to these end of the year rides, that's something that I'm really going to be practicing. I used to be really good at starts, but the past few years I just can't get my bike started in gear. So definitely something to practice, but that's aside from the point. We start here in an open field section and we are towards the back of the pack. I think there's 29 riders in the open sea class today, so a pretty decent sized class. So I got some endurance practice on this bike with the first race I did on the bike, which was the Little Summer Bummer Enduro. But really, my goal for today was just to one, get some seat time, and two, get some practice with hare scramble racing on this bike because next year one of my goals is to race more hare scrambles. I've missed these races, so just wanted to get some seat time. And Atalissa is kind of a tricky track. It's a long lap time. The course was 11 miles long today for one lap, and also it is very tight and technical. So, really good practice. I wasn't expecting a good result today. Just again wanted to get some seat time on the bike. Also, this is a race that I was looking forward to for a while, and hopefully, I can make this a tradition where I make the road trip back to Iowa every year for this hare scramble. Had a little bit of a bottleneck in that creek section there, but get around it, and now things are really spread out, and we're kind of riding alone. A little later on here, looks like a rider thought that the trail was going all the way down that hill, and it wasn't. There was a lot of side hilling action right off the start here. So he goes down, make a pass there, and I do not have a lot of experience riding this bike in tight trails like these. I mainly have ridden this bike at Fox Valley Off Road, which is a lot of open stuff, so I'm kind of just trying to learn how to ride this thing. It's like the Summer Bummer Enduro all over again. With that said, though, track conditions were absolutely perfect today. It rained a little bit going up to this event, so the week prior, but the track was actually pretty dry and yeah, it was just perfect. I was scared it was going to be a little muddy, but it was not muddy at all. I was having a ton of fun riding this track early in the lap here. I think this is around the 3 mile mark, so a little ways into the first lap. I was really just riding by myself at this point. There wasn't very much interesting stuff happening right off the start of the race here, but still just riding this trail, I was having a blast. So it looks like we're catching up to someone here. A little later on, we get right up to their back tire, so a little bit of a battle here trying to get around him. There's two guys behind me, and I believe they're in the 30 plus C class. So I let him around, this guy in front of me lets him around, and then I make the pass. So unfortunately today, tragedy struck. We come to this somewhat tricky section where we have a downhill and then like a 180 turn going immediately uphill. That did not sound good at all. So I know I rode my clutch a little bit going up that hill, tried feathering it a little bit, but I did not ride it that much. So my clutch definitely seems to be slipping. We go under this tree here. I let out my clutch, try gassing, and the bike does not move at all. And now we're overheating a little bit. So we definitely have some problems. So I try letting the bike cool down for a few minutes, start it back up, and this is what happens. So we are definitely done for the day. Now we get to sit on the side of the trail and watch all the people we were in front of pass us while we wait for the sweepers to come and save us from the woods. So I just want to say right off the bat here that the sweepers today were awesome. They were extremely helpful. So three sweepers come by and we try and figure out the plan of attack of how we get my bike out of the woods and how I get back to the pit area. So we start off by giving my dad a call because there is a gate nearby that's right off of the main road that leads to the track. So we need him to get my truck and drive to that gate so he can extract me and my bike. So we need to get my bike to the gate so my dad can pick me up. So we being the two sweepers here, push my bike up this hill to this open field section. I feel really bad because the sweepers did all the work and I really didn't do anything, but they were definitely cool with it. And again, the sweepers are awesome today, so appreciate the help there. I pushed my bike across this field section, and the gate is within sight here. There's just a creek that I need to cross, and then we will be home free. So I pushed my bike over to an area where I can get it on the other side of this small creek or stream. The sweeper here ends up helping me by pushing me from behind, and we get my bike through this section and to the other side where my dad can pick me up.
Alright. Again, rip the tape here. Okay. Yeah, I'll get closer so he can see me. Okay.
So I thank the sweeper again. They helped out a ton. They were awesome, and they, in a way, saved the day. I might still be trapped in the woods if it wasn't for their help. So, sweepers, thank you very much. I see my dad driving down the road here, so I wave him down, open up the gate, and then my dad pulls my truck into this area so that we can load my bike up and get out of here.
It's toast. The clutch is burnt out. I put it in gear and it doesn't go. I'll show you.
So we get everything loaded up in my truck, and I make the ride of shame back to the pits. This is definitely not how I would want a day to end, but all things considered, it definitely makes for a good story. My dad rescuing me from the woods, driving down a gravel road, and picking myself and my bike up during the middle of a race. So I would have loved to have finished this race, but again, makes for a decent story. So I ended up taking my clutch apart, and yeah, the plates were fried. So I already put new plates in the bike. It's running great, so we're back up and running. It was just a little bit of a setback. But with all that being said, I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you on the next episode.